Welcome to ZB class, my dear students. Today we are going to have chapter number 1. The name of this chapter is set. So today the points to be discussed are, number 1 point is set. The second point is representation of set. Today we are going to learn about the definition of set. And the second is, what are the forms of a set? How can we specify or describe a set? We have to learn about that one. So, first of all, let us learn this point number 1, that is about set. Okay. So, what is a set? A set is a collection. It is a well-defined collection of objects. That means set. What is a set? A set, it is a well-defined collection of objects. So, a set is nothing. It is a well-defined collection of objects. Then, what about objects? What are objects? We have to know that. What are objects? So, in mathematics, everything in the universe, whether it is living or non-living things, are called objects. Once again, in mathematics, everything in the universe, whether it is living or non-living things, are called objects. That means living or non-living things are called objects in mathematics. Okay, so now what about this well-defined collection? When is a collection said to be well-defined? How can you say the collection is well-defined? That is very important part of a set. Okay, that is very important part of set. How can you say a collection is well-defined? I have to know that one. So to know this one, I have to pick up 2 examples. Okay, so if I ask 2 persons, one is Chauba, another person is Tomba, about their favorite footballers of the world, 5 footballers of the world. When I ask Chauba about his 5 favorite footballers of the world, Chauba just replied like this. Okay, my favorite footballers of the world are, first one is Messi. Messi is a very famous player. Messi. Second, Ronaldo. The third one is Neymar. The fourth one is Maradona. The fifth one is Pele, like this. He gave his 5 favorite footballers of the world. Again, when you ask Tomba just replied and said to me like this: my 5 favorite footballers of the world are Pele, Maradona, then maybe Messi, then Carlos, then Muller, like this. So let us see. These are the collection only. This is a collection of Chauba, and this is also a collection of Tomba. But their collections are quite different. Their collections are not same. Okay, collection of Chauba is different from collection of Tomba. That's why these collections are not well defined. We have to select it. That means, when is a collection said to be well defined? A collection is said to be well defined when the collection does not change from one person to another person. Once again, a collection is said to be well defined if the collection does not change from one person to another person. But here the collection of Chauba and collection of Tomba are different from each other. So I think their collections are not well defined. Okay. So like this, if I ask to another person, if I ask another person about his or her favorite footballers of the world, they will give different footballers of the world. That means the collections will be different from each other, from one person to another person. Okay, that means that the collections are not well defined. Okay, that means the collection changes from one person to another person. That's why the collection is not well defined. Okay, you have to know. So now we have known about objects and we have known about well defined collections. Okay, objects mean living or non-living things in the universe. Okay, and well defined collection means this collection should not change from one person to another person. Okay, that's why a set is defined like this. A set is a well-defined collection of objects. Then let us give an example of a set. So if I ask one student, just give natural numbers less than 5, then the student will say that the first student, this is first student, and another student, let us ask another student. So the first student, if I ask, give natural numbers less than 5, then this first student will say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, less than 5. That second student, if I ask, he will give like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. That means the collection of numbers are all equal. This collection does not change from one collection to this. The collection of this first student does not change compared to this, the collection of the second student, isn't it? So the second student's collection also 1, 2, 3, 4, because that is the natural number less than 5. This student knows about natural number. Natural numbers are counting numbers, okay, such as 1, 2, 3 and so on are natural numbers. He knows that. So he get this answer 1, 2, 3, 4. Less than 5 means that should be, the number should be up to 4. Okay, starting from 1 to 4, we know that. And second one is the first student, and so he knows about natural numbers. That's why he gave this answer. It is starting from 1 to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the collection of first student. That's why these collections are not changed. That's why this collection of numbers are called set. Okay, this is the set. Like this, we can give another example, that is about vowels. How many vowels are there in English alphabet? There are 5 vowels. We know that. So this is A, E, I, O, U. If I ask to another person, the person will give like this. And if I go to another person and ask, then that person will keep saying A, E, I, O, U. We learned this one from childhood onwards, isn't it? That's why we know about vowels. There are 5 letters in English alphabet. Okay, so that's why we know about vowels, A, E, I, O, U. So that means this collection and this collection are set. That's why they are well-defined collection. So they are called set. Okay, like this we can give the definition of set. So set is nothing. It is a well-defined collection of objects. So now we have known about collection objects. That means we have known about a set. Okay, now let us learn about say mathematical sets. Mathematical sets means, I think you learned from childhood. Okay, that is from the lower classes onwards. You have been learning about some collection of numbers. Okay, the first one you just learn about natural numbers, isn't it? The first one is natural numbers. This natural number denoted by capital N. We know that. In set notation, sets are denoted by capital letters. Sets are denoted by capital letters. For example, A is set, B is set, C is set, like this. Okay, sets are denoted by capital letters. And the second one is the objects in the set. Okay, the objects in the set are called elements or members of the set. These objects in a set are called elements or members. Elements or members of the set. Okay, so this, the notation of the elements or members of objects in a set, that is, they are denoted by small letters, that is small a, b, c, etc. Okay, elements are denoted by small letters and the sets are denoted by capital letters. Okay, that's why this N, capital N, denotes a set. This capital N denotes the set of natural numbers. Okay, we know that. So set of the natural numbers, we know that they are counting numbers, that is 1, 2, 3 and so on, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and so on. That is, they are called natural numbers. If they are collection, then we have to use this symbol, second bracket or curly braces. Okay, and second one, that is about say whole numbers. Whole numbers are denoted by capital W. Okay, and they are the answer set collection, so we have to use this symbol, that is curly braces, that we call it as curly braces or second bracket. So starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay, we have to here put 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 dot on 1, 2, 3, 3 dot. This set of natural numbers, and this is a set of whole numbers. The third one we know that is about integers. That is, integers are actually denoted by capital I or Z, and this one set, so we have to use this symbol, bracket, second bracket. So we have to use 0, minus 1, minus 2, dot dot dot, and this is 1, 2, dot dot dot. Okay, integers, we know about integers, isn't it? They are denoted by capital I or capital Z. And then next is 4, that is integers, and then we come to the rational numbers. Rational numbers are denoted by capital Q, and they are also set, so we have to use this bracket, that is second bracket. So this, we cannot, rational numbers cannot be represented in this form. Okay, in this form, this form subset should be learned in the second point. Okay, so this rational numbers should be denoted by capital Q, but we cannot write in this form. Okay, so we have to just keep like this. And set of number 5, irrational numbers, that is denoted by S or T, and this also cannot be represented in this form. Okay, I cannot represent in this form. In mathematics, we cannot represent in this form. And numbers 5, 6, we have rational plus rational numbers are called real numbers. This is real numbers, that is denoted by capital R. This also we cannot represent in this form. Okay, so this collection of numbers are called mathematical sets. Okay, those numbers on the number line are all real numbers. Okay, real numbers can be represented on the number line. You have to understand that. So now this for natural number, capital N, set of natural numbers, set of whole numbers, and set of integers, and set of rational numbers, and set of irrational numbers, and set of real numbers. I hope that you learn these types of numbers in the previous classes. Okay, so this collection of numbers or these sets are called mathematical sets. Okay, so now let us move to the next very important point, that is about representation of sets. Okay, representation of sets. Set can be specified or described in two forms. The first one we call it is representation or description. Okay, representation. representation. Set can be represented in two ways. The first one we call it is a roster or tabular form. The second one we call it is set builder or rule form. Like this, we can have two forms of set. We can represent a set in two forms. First one is roster or tabular form, and the second one is set builder or rule form. Okay. In this first type of set, so all the elements should be written in the form of table. That's why we call it this tabular form. Okay. All the elements should be written in the form of table. Means in table form we have to write. So let us write one example, that is natural numbers less than 5. Let us write down. So in this type of form, all the elements 1, 2, 3, 4 natural numbers less than 5. Okay, these are the natural number less than 5. Okay, all the elements, I have written down all elements. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This element should be enclosed by curly braces or simply braces or second bracket. Okay, and all the elements should be separated by commas. In the first form of set, all the elements should be written within braces or second bracket, and all the elements should be separated by commas. Then that form of set is called tabular form or roster form. Okay, so this is a set only. This set should be written like this. I can represent this set as A, suppose. If I consider A is the given set, then this A can be written in this form. Set of natural numbers less than 5. So I have to write all the numbers within this symbol. We call it as curly braces or second bracket, and all the elements are separated by commas. Then that type of or that form of set is called roster or tabular form. Okay, I hope you have understood. In roster form or tabular form, all the elements should be kept inside the second bracket, and all the elements should be separated by commas. Okay, that is the first type of set form, that is called tabular form. Second one is set builder form or rule form. Set builder, by this word set builder, we know that set builder means, what is meant by set builder? I mean, this type of form is the set itself. That means that is this set builder form gives the definition of the set. That means it is a form of set. It is a form of set which forms the or which builds the set. Okay, which builds the set. So the type of set or the form of sets which build a set are called set builder forms. Okay, once again I want to remind you that in this type of set builder form, they will give the definition of the set. That means it is a form of set which forms or builds the set. Okay, that is called a set builder form or rule form. Okay, so here in the first case I just gave one example, that is set of natural number less than 5. The set of natural number less than 5, that is called a set builder form. Okay, that is set builder form only. That is the definition of set. That is the definition of the given set. That's what that is called set builder form. The set is formed, the set is built by that definition. That's what we call this set builder form. Understood? Okay, I just to note this very clearly, so I am going to give one example that. So I just now I have to write this one. Natural numbers less than 5. What I mean to say is that this is the definition of the given set. That's why this is called set builder form. Okay, but in the notation, in the set notation, how can we specify? Let us see that one. In this type of set builder form, what we have to do is that we have to choose one variable. So generally we are choosing the variable x. Okay, just consider x. I have chosen one the variable that is x. Consider x is the required variable. Okay, so x will define the given set. That means this x will give the definition of the given set. Okay, let us see that. I have to write x is that in this set form. We have to write like this. First of all, you just choose one variable, that variable x, and that variable will give the definition of the set. That is, x is that x is a natural number less than 5. As it is a set, so we have to use this curly bracket. In the first question, so as it is a set, so we have to use this symbol. We call this curly bracket or curly braces. Okay, second bracket we have to use here also. As it is a set, we have to use this curly braces. Okay, and then this one I can represent by a symbol, that is b, capital letter only. So this b gives this definition, isn't it? So b is nothing. This type of form is called a set builder form. In the set builder form, the variable will give the definition of the given set. Okay, and in tabular form, all the elements should be written within braces, and all the elements should be separated by commas. Okay, don't forget. In the first tabular form, all the elements should be written with in the form of table, and in the second case, the variable will give the definition of the given set. So these are the types of set. Okay, that means these are the forms of a given set. So we call this representation of set. So now today we have learned about a set. What is a set? It is a collection. It is a well-defined collection of objects. We know that. And when a collection is said to be well-defined? A collection is said to be well-defined when the collection does not change from one person to another person. Okay, you have to understand that one. And second one is representation of set. Can be represented in two ways. First one is tabular form, and second one is set builder form, like this. Okay, I hope that you have understood about this types of forms of set as well as the definition of the set. So my dear students, for today let us wind up here, and in the next class let us learn about how to convert a form of set to another form, that is from tabular form to roster form, tabular form to set builder form, and set builder form to tabular form. Okay, let us learn about this conversion. Okay, thank you my dear students. For today let us wind up here. Have a nice day.